Question number 6. The times that 80 customers waited at a supermarket checkout are shown. So this means that 32 people waited between 0 and 2 minutes, 19 people waited between 2 and 4 minutes, 20 people waited between 4 and 6 minutes, and so on. The first part of the question, we're asked which class interval is the median. So we need to remember the median is the middle value when the numbers are in order. These values are in order because they're in a table. We've got the people who wait the shortest amount of time through to the people who wait the longest. So we're going to use the formula n over 2. N stands for the number of people. So in this case it's the total frequency, and we know from the question as well, rather than adding this up, that it's 80. So if we do 80 divided by 2, that tells us that the median is at the 40th position. Now, it's helpful to write down a cumulative frequency for this, because what this 32 means, if the numbers are in order, is that there are 32 values between 0 and 2 minutes. That's not what we want, because we want the 40th value. So if we now do 32 add 19, 32 add 20 would be 52, so then add 19 would be 51. And we could continue if we wanted to. So if we added 20, we get 71. Add 7, we get 78. Add 2 gives us 80. This is a good way of checking because that should give you the total. And because we want the 40th value, we can go through and think it's not going to be in this group because that only goes up to 32 values. The 40th value must lie in the next group. This goes up to 51 values. So we report this is our median interval. So 2 to 4 is the correct answer that you should circle. In part B, it says, the manager of the supermarket says 90% of our customers wait less than 6 minutes. Does the data support your statement? There are a couple of different ways that I saw people work this out. So one way is to see how many people actually waited less than 6 minutes. So if we look at the table again, these are the people who waited 6 minutes or less. So looking at the frequencies, 32 add 19 add 20, on our calculators gives me 71, and we know there's 80 people in total. So by working out the percentage of people who waited less than 6 minutes, so 71 out of 80 multiplied by 100, .75. So that means 88.75% waited 6 minutes or less. So was the manager right? No. Okay, so you would need to state no less than 90% weighted. Okay, so I've made a conclusion and I've supported that with my working. Another way that people have answered this question, because it said 90% of customers waited less than 6 minutes. People have worked out, well, what is 90% of our 80 customers? So people have worked out 90% to be 0.9 multiplied by 80. Remember, 0.9 is the multiplier for doing 90 over 100. So 90% is 0.9. Multiply that by 80, that gives you 72, again on your calculator. By adding up the values, we can see that actually only 71 people waited when we should have 72, and therefore it wasn't 90%. So only 71 people therefore the manager is wrong. Now in the mark scheme, to show you, this is what they're looking for to give you the mark. So if you get 88.75 or you could have rounded that, and you said no, then you're going to get your 2 marks. If you didn't show that, you're going to need to show your method to get the mark. So we need to show 32, add 19, add 20, or you could have written the answer 71. The examiner needs to see either of these two to get the method mark. And what this means is that if you wrote this out, but for some reason you put the wrong answer, maybe you put 61, you would still get the method mark if you wrote 32 plus 19 plus 20. So you must make sure you're showing you're working.